Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very happy to bring you our show titled Speak of Africa. Our show has a whole lot of news for you. We know you like the news. But what's important is you guys are the ones sending us a lot of the videos and the pictures. You tell us what to cover. You share the information with us on WhatsApp, and some of you even call our cell phone. So you do this religiously. So we thank you for doing all of this, and we are here for you. This show is your voice. We created this show because we wanted to give you an outlet to express yourself. Most of the media you have in this country and the world, they don't like to cover Africans. They don't like to cover Africa. But we think Africans matter. We think Africans are important, which is why we bring your issues to the fore. And we also share the idea of self-reliance. Some of you sometimes will say, oh, Prince Ojong, you keep bringing business on this show. Yes, I bring business because the only way we can become self-reliant is by owning our own businesses. So they say, preach, say what you preach, do what you preach, and that's what we'll do on this show. We're business people, and we encourage our people to get into business. Like now, we are finalizing the opening of our clinic, Lucille Urgent Care in Towson, Maryland. We are offering a lot of job positions to our people, especially nurse practitioners and registered nurses. We are starting with them. We've already hired some of them, and we need more because we need more people to work. Then we also need front desk people who are experienced in healthcare. So we're all set to go, and you can see the address, and we have our website. So good luck to you. Apply, and we'll hire you because we want to give the opportunity to our own people to work in this urgent care. This is the modern way of care. The retail establishment is what is working now, so take advantage of this. Don't say, oh, Prince Ojong, you keep talking business on this show. Without business, you will not have any resources. So mark my words, we have to think about business. When you look at even the stories that are dominating Africa and the world this week, they have to do with business. Look at the Russia coup. That's a major story. It took place because these guys have been doing a whole lot of work in Africa. We've been talking about the Wagner group on this show so many times. And what happened? The Wagner group was trying to stage a coup d'etat. They were already moved from the south of Russia going up towards Moscow. Putin was shaken. Vladimir Putin, for the first time, was shaken. He said he's a bold guy. But Vladimir Putin is a guy who is a drug lord. He's just like a drug lord, a gangster. So he only knows force. And that's the language Yevgeny Prigozhin used to draw his attention. Force, brute force. He had to work a deal very fast. And I can tell you, you're going to discover that a lot of money changed hands between Vladimir Putin and Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner group. So now, with what is happening to the Wagner group, with the collapse of the Wagner group, you guys know what happened. I don't want to go into the details of the story. You must have watched it in the news. Summarily, what happened was, for many weeks now, Yevgeny Prigozhin was having a conflict with Shoigu, the Minister of Defense of Russia. The matters came to a head, so there was a showdown this weekend, and that's what happened. Prigozhin took his Wagner group forces from Ukraine, drove through Russia, and started marching towards Moscow. Putin was so frightened, he escaped from Moscow, so he had to make a quick deal. Lukashenko of Belarus had to broker a very quick deal so that Yevgeny Prigozhin should stop marching to Moscow. But of course, these guys are gangsters. A lot of money changed hands behind the scenes. You're going to find out this is the truth. Then the other big story of the week, which would also have ramifications in Africa, is the Paris summit. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, invited many African presidents to France for a summit which he called climate change and poverty relief. Who is he fooling? Poverty relief? The guy who is draining resources from Africa is telling Africans he wants to help them solve poverty? Then if he wants to help them solve poverty, he should stop taking resources from them. You're going to hear the way we're going to present what the French government is doing in Ambazonia, and you know that Macron is just a bad guy. Okay? So, talking about poverty relief, climate change, we want to help African countries. No, he's not helping African countries. He's helping France, his country. Macron only cares about French interests. He doesn't care about African interests. But for some reason, Africans are very gullible. They listen to this propaganda. They consume it like Kool-Aid. And that's why Africa will not go anywhere so long as we have coconut heads who would keep listening to people like Emmanuel Macron. Okay? So those are the two major stories that we have in Africa today. They are happening in the world, but they have reverberations in Africa. So we want you to know these stories. So we take you straight now to Ambazonia. Ambazonia has a whole lot of stories, and the main story we have in Ambazonia is the killing field. A lot more people are dying. Biya's forces are killing a lot of innocent civilians. Whenever the Ambazonian restoration fighters kill 2, 3, 4 soldiers from La République du Cameroon, they go on a rampage. They just kill any civilian they see. And their target are young males. So if you're a young male in Ambazonia, you have to make up your mind. I've seen some young males in Ambazonia have chosen with their feet to walk away from Ambazonia into La République du Cameroon as a way to run away from the war. But how far are you going to run away? Some people have to decide now, if you are a male, you have to either decide to stand and fight. Because if you're going to stay there, you'll be killed for no good reason. Just like this week, we saw pictures of a lot of innocent civilians who were killed. So it's very, very sad. We cannot even show the clear pictures of those civilians who were killed, but we'll have the evidence. And you can see it. We're going to cover them a little bit because YouTube will not like us to show blood and all that stuff. But that's evidence of the crime of the Paul Biya regime. While Paul Biya was in Paris celebrating, and one of the pictures we saw him sleeping, that's the guy who is the president of La République du Cameroon. He's sleeping at this Paris summit. And we saw the picture and we're sharing it with you. You send us the pictures because we are in Washington, D.C., the capital of the USA. But we got this information because you sent it to us. Biya was sleeping, and you can see that at this Paris summit, what is happening? Well, the summit is caught between two summits. One, you have supporters of Paul Biya, and two, you have protesters. On the one hand, you have the people from CPDM party of Paul Biya who are welcoming him as a president. But there are many others who just look at him like persona non grata. They accuse him of genocide in Ambazonia, and they want the world to know that this is a bad guy, and they are protesting in the streets of Paris. Even the hotel where Mr. Biya was staying, those protesters were everywhere. So they want to chase him. They want the civilized world to know that their hypocrisy is being exposed in broad daylight. And you can see so many videos. Watch the videos showing all this activity.
Que vous êtes venu boycotter, vous êtes venu boycotter qui? Venez, appelle tous tes frères. Vous êtes venu boycotter, non? Venez, venez, les imbéciles. Là-bas devant maman. Venez, 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 venez.
Avant que la police n'arrive, ils se sont comportés comme des sauvages, comme des barbares. Ils ont agressé le village du coin, ils ont pris son téléphone. Ils ont agressé aussi le combattant Doutsa. Maintenant, la police est arrivée, il commence à bavarder seulement. Pourquoi est-ce qu'il ne continue pas les agressions? Pourquoi il ne continue pas à nous agresser, à nous frapper alors? Parce que la police est là. La police est là pour défendre, pour protéger les citoyens. Alors, c'est une vraie leçon de morale qu'on nous enquête de les imputer comme ça là. Les démontrer qu'ils sont dans un pays de droit, ils ne sont pas dans le nous ici. Ici là, le roi n'a aucun statut. Ici, le roi n'a aucun statut.
Then, even the king of the Bamoons was also in Paris for this summit. I'm sure it's a lucky of Paul Biya. For the first time, his people were taking him to task. Their conscience tells them that the king should not be supporting the Biya regime blindly. The Biya regime encourages tribalism. In Saint-Melima and most of those other areas where Biya comes from, his people are killing the Bamilikes and Cameroonians from other places. But because the Biya regime wants to exploit these tribal politics, they look the other way and let his people kill these Cameroonians. The Bamoun people who are in Paris, they think enough is enough. Their leader should have a conscience. Their leader should not just be following the Paul Biya regime blindly. And they made their displeasure felt. They expressed it very, very well, and you can see a lot of videos showing their displeasure. So it was hard. Paris was hard. I remember what happened in Geneva, in Switzerland, at the Hotel Intercontinental. So it's the same thing in Paris. The crowds were big crowds, anti-Biya crowds, very, very big. But we know images, so you can see while Mr. Biya is far away, his people are killing more and more people in Ambazonia. The images are really gory. So those who choose to fight are the ones who may have a way to survive, because women are burying the dead. So how long will the women continue burying the dead? Even for the women, they have to now decide to join the resistance, because after they kill all the men, what's going to happen? Then they will start looking for women to kill too. So don't think that they are targeting men now, soon you'll be free. No. After they finish targeting the guys, they're going to turn their attention now to the women, because the women now will be. So you don't wait until they kill all your men. Then of course we have pictures of so many widows. This war has created a lot of widows in Ambazonia, and some of them were really protesting that they don't have husbands. The Biya thugs kill their husbands, and the Biya regime is not responsible for even helping them. So this is a very bad regime. They kill their husbands and they let them suffer. That's the pain they want these women to go through. And you can see the pictures. Then of course the roads also are very, very bad. We see pictures of very bad roads. People cannot even bury their dead because the roads are very bad.
Up here at the open board, this is on the ring road number 11. This place, as you see cars here, cars have been stopped in mud for several days. People cannot access the regional hospital annex in Cambe. If you look behind here, you will see children who are supposed to be going on holidays. They have been stopped in mud. And what angers us is that this road, even though it's the ring road, the population has been trying for several years. As you see, we are working with the drivers union and the youth. We have been trying for several years to keep the road passable. And in December 2022, the Minister of Public Works gave maintenance work so that the road should be passable to a contractor called Sawi. And since then, no job has been done. The population remains here. People move, they want to go and bury their loved ones, they cannot pass. You see children staying in mud for several days. People bring even corpses, they cannot go and bury. Women will have to go to the hospital, they get delivered in mud around all of this. And the contractor is being protected, but we cannot understand that somebody takes a contract. He does not do the contract, they add him other contracts. Is it a punishment to the people, the peace-loving people of Nkambe, or what is it? We cannot understand the state of this. Yeah.
Go! And since last year, the Nkambe Council, where they collaborate together with the Nkambe Drivers Union, We work very hard. Sometimes them with the community work, with the work, with the carry gravel right from Cambe, they can feed the places them. But when we ask some of our elders, them they tell we say the route they on contract, the route they on contract. Since last year, we suffered the whole last year. We fix route by ourselves. Then this year again we will check say better for day. This year now the same thing don't start. Now so the route they so with the crisis we know say petrol and gas will become rich for you easily. We will the benefit petrol from Nigeria. Now so people from Nigeria they don't dare their own petrol again. Petrol the high, route the spoil. For come out for here last dry season we will pay 10,000. But now so now 20-something thousand where drivers them they ask them for pay. Me like the president. Passengers they got the who me say transport don't high. Driver them got the complaint say that motor them this spoil. Petrol, it beat there. I could do.
I stand for you because of road. I come on alive for South so. You are power Rwanda, one go level for Tabikenso as we come on. Since now almost 4 days this I don't make a borrow.
Only for come for do for reach Cambe. I don't spend more than even 6 days for route. Today na normal 5 days. I be first leave for that side 1 day. I don't spend 5 days for here. That means say today na normal 6 days. So that's why it is. You don't my motor don't scatter for road. No, just take the break go say me they look way for this situation.
Then, but of course, whenever the Ambazonia Restoration Forces kill a few people from Mr. Biya's thugs, they go on a rampage. And we can even show you a very nasty picture where they're burning a house, because they are stuck in trade. They love burning houses in Ambazonia. Take a look at a house that they are burning.
Yeah, today the 24th of June 2023. But the houses where la public terrorists Gabon today. Maybe the way see what did they happen. 5 civilians they down. A man in houses, a businessman don't manage his life. Look up put a down. So I want me the whole way to see see what Ambazonia they pass through each day. From this town to the next town, from this village to the next village, each day, and so that they do when the forces don't pass them for fight they cut the whole innocent civilian. Then thank you now.
Thank you for watching this house, which is being burned in flames. Okay, burned completely.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Now we take you to the Central African Republic. You know, the Wagner Group has stationed its business in the Central African Republic. Ashanj Touadera invited the Wagner Group, and they are doing business with the Wagner Group. The Wagner Group actually is a group that, as we told you, Vladimir Putin created. He was trying to tell people that the United States has Blackwater, a consulting firm, but Blackwater is not owned by the US government. So he created this organization which is owned by Putin. It's like Putin's private army. This private army now has decided to turn against him. And that's what really happened this weekend when Yevgeny Prigozhin decided to march to Moscow. It's like you have a dog, your dog is on the leash, then the dog has grown too big for his britches, and now the dog starts attacking the master. And that's basically what Vladimir Putin felt this weekend, because the dog started attacking the master, Mr. Putin. They brokered a deal. Yevgeny Prigozhin is going to Belarus. But what's going to happen? Is this the end of the story? We don't think so. More is coming. So instead of wasting time talking about Moscow, let's take you now to Congo DRC. Congo DRC is having elections on December 20th, presidential elections. Moise Katumbi, Martin Fayulu, and of course, Felix Tshisekedi. They are all running during these elections. But behind this backdrop, there is insecurity. You can even see pictures of Jean-Pierre Bemba, the Assistant Defense Secretary, going to try to broker some peace. So there's still a lot of trouble. So how is the election going to take place within this backdrop? The M23 is still operational. The ADF, these are all rebel groups that are operating. They can accuse Rwanda as much as they want. Until they settle this problem, the Congolese people need to build their own army so that the army is strong enough to face outside forces like Rwanda. So long as they don't do this, they will continue having problems, and the election is not going to be peaceful. There's going to be chaos. Okay? Then, of course, we go to Mali. Mali has just had a referendum. The people said yes, they want to return to civilian rule. But some of the folks in the north are accusing the government of Assimi Goïta of fraud, electoral fraud. So it looks like their voices were not counted. So they are not happy. But that's what happens. When Assimi Goïta controls everything, that's what happens. And is there going to be peace? We don't think so. And of course, the Wagner group has just left. You have to understand that the Wagner group is a group led by a gangster. And this gangster is called Yevgeny Prigozhin. Prigozhin was a prisoner. After he left prison, he started a small cookery business, a catering business where he was supplying food. Then, of course, he met Vladimir Putin. Then Putin started using him. Giving him money, things that the army of Russia could not do. Putin will get this guy to do them. So all over Africa, the Wagner group has been creating terror and doing terrible things to people, killing people. That's just their stock in trade. So this guy is brutal, wicked. So that's the kind of people that you see when you see a guy like Vladimir Putin. It's not a nice guy. He's a killer. He's a monster. But he himself is afraid to die. People like Vladimir Putin are just like Saddam Hussein. They like to kill people, but they are afraid to die. So that's the background of Yevgeny Prigozhin. Okay? So Mali is relying on the Wagner group. But I told you before on this show that it is not smart for Mali to be relying on the Wagner group. Look at what is happening today. Assimi Goïta is left in the cold because the Wagner group is not going to be there to support him again. So if he's playing games with the West, he has to be careful. He has to be smarter. Then we'll take you to Nigeria. In Nigeria, we're really happy with the performance of President Bola Tinubu. He's still making strides. We understand that he has tried to start overhauling the security apparatus in the country so that they can focus attention on terrorists and bandits. We hear he fired all of them, so it's more like a total makeover. And we think Nigerians think that it's a good move because all those old military guys, security chiefs were just sitting there holding nonsensical meetings. Nothing was happening. People were being killed. But we think it's good to sit back now, take stock, bring fresh blood so that they can handle the security apparatus. So we think Tinubu is doing a good thing. And of course, we also got news today that Kirikou, the Islamic State of West Africa province, he's the leader of the Islamic State of West Africa province, an offshoot of Boko Haram. He died in the Sambisa forest. We'll get some pictures to show you. He died in the Sambisa forest on June 24th because of snake bites. A venomous snake bit him many times and he died in the forest. So he was the leader of this group. So what is going to happen now? So Nigerians need to take advantage of the disappearance of this guy. His forces are still there, but they may be in disarray if the government can engage them quickly. So do not just do militarization. Look for the carrot. Give carrots to these people. Bring them to the table. We think Bola Tinubu is smarter. He'll be able to do what we're saying. Then we also saw that Bola Tinubu also had a story which came from his autobiography. He was talking about his student days in Chicago, Illinois, when a military officer slapped him when he was a cab driver. So he had those humble beginnings, and we're going to share the biography with you on another show. So we'll take you now to Senegal. In Senegal, we have a very interesting story, okay? A minister from Senegal, a minister in the government of Macky Sall, was in Senegal. I'm sure he came to attend this conference, the Paris summit of Emmanuel Macron. Then he challenged some guys on the street. The guys got angry and they decided to beat him up. He first threw a punch and the guys decided to beat him. So it was so sad the way they beat him on the street. It reminds us of the other guys from Nigeria. Take a look at this video.
Ça va, c'est lui qui était le premier à donner... Non, ça va. C'est lui qui... C'est lui qui était le premier à donner les coups. Hein. Fallait pas... Il était le premier à donner les coups. Il était le premier à donner les coups. Mais c'est lui qui était le premier. Quand vous dites non, c'est lui qui était le premier à donner les coups. Moi j'ai filmé. Moi j'ai filmé. Moi j'ai filmé. C'est lui qui était le premier à donner des coups. Moi j'ai filmé. C'est lui qui t'a pas fait. C'est lui. Comment il peut oser commencer à donner les coups? Mais c'est incroyable quand même. Il a le toupet de donner les coups en premier. C'est incroyable quand même.
So they were telling him they are against Macky Sall's third term agenda. So Macky Sall too has said he's preparing a public address where he's going to explain his position. But the position is, tell us, are you going to run for a third term, yes or no? That's what the people of Senegal want to know. Are you going to run for a third term? And they are thinking that he should say, no, I'm not running for a third term. I care about the peace and stability of my country. I'm not going to run for a third term. That would be a better answer. But if he insists that he wants to force himself on the people of Senegal, that's when he's going to have it really tough. And that's what we think. He's going to really have it tough. So from Senegal now, we're going to take you to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is having elections. Mada Bio is running. Then you have other two candidates who are running elections in Sierra Leone. Mada Bio was a former army guy, so he's running for re-election. So who is going to win? You're going to tell us. If you are from Sierra Leone, watch this story. They are tallying the votes now in Sierra Leone. Watch the story and tell us what's happening. We want to know. From Sierra Leone now, we'll take you to Sudan.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
You may think that there's been a lull in the fighting in Sudan, but we've been told that a lot of people are being killed. In fact, even the area around Darfur, the conflict between the military and RSF rages on. In fact, this conflict is even affecting the attendance of people going to Mecca for the pilgrimage. A lot of them cannot travel because of this war. So it's really sad. So you can see that the war is also having serious consequences on Muslims. Most of the people in Sudan are Muslims, so they cannot even travel to Mecca on this pilgrimage. Isn't that sad? It is sad. We think so. Then we'll take you to Tunisia. Tunisia also is a place where Said Kais is a president, but he's moving from democracy to dictatorship, and the people are unhappy. The standard of living is getting higher, but he's not paying attention. So the people are really complaining. They're complaining a whole lot. Okay? They're complaining a whole lot, and we think something should be done. Finally, we want to end our show by taking you to Kenya. Normally, you don't remember Kenya as a country where there is jihadists, but there are jihadists who always strike in Kenya. They have struck some of the hotels in the past. This week, they struck again. Most of the jihadists in Kenya come from the group called Al-Shabaab. We've talked about Al-Shabaab many times on this show. Al-Shabaab is from Somalia, okay? The name of the group translates from Arabic to what they call the youth. Somalia decided to form this group. After the collapse of the government of Siad Barre, they decided to form this group called the youth, which stands for Al-Shabaab in Arabic. Since the downfall of Siad Barre, they have been fighting the central government. Every time they elect a new central government, this terrorist group makes sure that the government cannot function. So they bring them down. So when are the people of Somalia going to have the intelligence to decide that, okay, now we need to sit at the table and negotiate with our brothers in Al-Shabaab? Militarization is not working. Most of the weak governments in Somalia, they always use the West, the US. They will strike positions of Al-Shabaab. We've defeated Al-Shabaab. No, you cannot defeat Al-Shabaab because it's difficult to fight this insurgency. You have to negotiate. And we think it's a better approach. Negotiate, negotiate, negotiate. If you negotiate, you have better opportunities. And besides, that's the smart thing to do when you have this crisis. Unfortunately, in Africa, our leaders tend to depend on militarization. The folks in the West deceive them by telling them that militarization will work. It rarely works. So let's give peace a chance. Peace, peace, peace. Okay? And finally, we've come to the end of our show, and we're telling you to support our business. We're also going to be using our software titled Alexia HTC in this clinic. And we'll leave you with a video of our software, Alexia HTC. Bye-bye. May God bless you.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.